Guy with no name. So yeah, no soundtrack today. Sorry guys. I know you guys love my hip hop music. What I want to do something a little bit different than the last few videos. What I usually do is just go over the ATS, the standings, and that sort of stuff. I'm gonna continue to do that, but I'm gonna go ahead and do a fantasy focus bit. So see how long it goes. I mean, I know nobody's watching out there anyway, so. So I'm just go over here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go do a fantasy focus thing. We're gonna go over week 1 standings, and then I'm gonna go ahead and give you my results of week 1. And of course, I'm gonna give you tonight's winner because yeah, your baby mama needs a fur coat, and I got you the winner. Stay tuned. It's the biggest no-brainer in the history of Earth. Stay tuned for that. It's the guy with no name. Alright, first things freaking first, right? Fantasy Focus. Beginning of the year, there was a number of different guys that were going, you know, the first rounders, you know, whatever. The first round picks. I kind of picked out just a handful. What I'm going to try to do is do about 5 guys. 5 guys that I think will be, that everybody is predicting to do good, and then maybe like 5 sleepers or something. And then we'll see what 5 guys are actually doing good. So the 5 guys that I picked, or that, not me, but most fantasy books out there or whatever picked, were Aaron Rodgers, quarterback, Lev Bell at running back, along with Ron Johnson, Antonio Brown, Odell Beckham, Julio Jones, and Ezekiel Elliott. I just threw him in there just because he's something to talk about in the fantasy world. So yeah, I mean, Aaron Rodgers did. I actually have him in my one of my Premier Leagues, and we're very quarterback heavy in the league. He didn't do one. He did pedestrian numbers, teams, depending which scoring system looks like. Lev Bell, another guy. You know, he was predicted to be number 1 pick, 200, 300 points a season or whatever. Pedestrian numbers, nothing to write home about, as they say. Right? Antonio Brown. Yeah, okay, so this guy's the real deal, right? Consistently top 5 guy, 3 years in a row, Hall of Famer probably. If you have him, good for you, because he's the only guy that actually lived up to the hype at the end of week 1. Big surprise there. ODB, Odell Beckham Jr., another guy that plenty of hype, but when it came down to performance, just your pedestrian numbers. Hell, I might even put him in the middle of the pack, nowhere near elite. Certainly not top 5 or top 10, maybe even not even top 20 in some cases. I didn't look at the numbers, but that's just what I'm kind of guessing. Julio Jones, another guy with pedestrian numbers. This guy, another guy that was consistently top 3, top 5 in the wide receiver rankings. Pedestrian numbers. Ezekiel Elliott, another guy. He played. He did a lot of maneuvering with the courts and whatnot and blah blah blah, but still we didn't get a spectacular game out of him. Pedestrian numbers. The only guy, like I said, Antonio Brown. Good for you. Good for him. So yeah, we're gonna close out that. That's the speculation part. Now let's go to the actual results of the fantasy world. We're gonna be talking about a kicker. We don't really get to talk a lot about kickers in the fantasy world. But yeah, this week we actually had a guy that came out of nowhere. But the biggest name to come out of week 1 in fantasy sports, fantasy football, is Kadeem Hunt. Kadeem Hunt. Yes, I mean, yes, there was plenty of speculation. Sleeper, definitely. He was probably drafted in most leagues, I want to say. Maybe not most leagues, but most people that know a thing or two knew that he has this potential, and he did. I don't even know, 40 to 60 points, which is a lot of points. There's a bear in here, which we kind of know that the Bears are a traditionally running team, except that we had the wrong quarterback or the wrong running back pegged for that. Tariq Cohen. I don't even know how to say his name yet, but yeah, he was really looking impressive. I mean, he's just this little ball. He can probably do push-ups with a finger or something. He's just this little ball of might. Good for him. I mean, hats off to him. I think he's going to be a shining star, at least within the Chicago sports football meathead community. Sorry guys, we're a bunch of meatheads in Chicago. I want to talk about Alex Smith. Everybody, you know, game manager and this and that. You know, they put a little fire in his ass when they got the third guy. I forget his name. Alexander the Third. I don't know what the fuck his name is, but they got a quarterback in the draft. It's supposed to be the next hot shit, and I think he probably put a little fire in Alex Smith's ass. Say, hey, either you perform like a freaking starting quarterback, or your ass is out, Mr. Game Manager. So it's kind of good. So that's the top three guys, or just per running. I mean, you get a wide receiver, a running back, and a quarterback. Of course, I want to put Antonio Brown in the mix. Yes, hats off to Antonio Brown for proving us right that he did it. He did a fabulous job of keeping up the hype that is Antonio Brown and what he can do and what was expected and what he did. There's a guy that I want to talk. I don't know what his name is. Let me see if I can find his name real quick. My iPad is no longer working. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Maybe buy another one. I don't want to. Let me see. Kenny Galladay and Gillespie too. Both these guys, I don't know why. I'm gonna just lump them together. Galladay, I mean, I should know who he is. He played at Northern Illinois University, my alma mater. But yeah, he's an NIU guy. Big hype at the MAC level, but he came up and he's playing for the Lions, which is in the NFC North. Yeah, he threw up some fabulous numbers. There's some speculation about him, sleeper guy, rookie guy, and he delivered, and he did deliver big time. So good for him. Just wanted to give him big ups to that guy. The kicker that we're going to talk about is Giorgio Tovecchio. I don't even know. Some Italian guy. It sounds Italian. But yeah, interesting story about him. He did less than 24 hours from him being signed. He not only started, he also went on to break records as a rookie. I think he was the first one to hit 2 50-plus yard field goals and make them in his rookie year, rookie start, or whatever. See, I mean, he replaced Janikowski, which is another Hall of Fame kicker. But yeah, I mean, this guy, you know, he just gets signed on. You know, his uniform probably doesn't even fit him, and he's out there fucking breaking records, kicking ass. So I'm sure a lot of people went out there and got him on the waiver wires, as well as all these other guys that we did mention. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool the way that this fantasy league works, and the way guys become stars overnight. But you know, just keep in mind that if there really is some hot shit when they can repeat these performances, and a lot of guys don't. Keep that in mind. So anyway, this is the guy with no name with my new segment of fantasy focus. Hope you like it, and you know, feel free to comment. You want to reach out, go ahead and be part of the show. Just reach out, subscribe. You can email me or leave messages in the comments. All right, I'm out.